Hey guys, welcome back. This is Alex Graham with Grow Time Hydroponics and Supply here in Gainesville, Florida. We are located in the Millhopper Shopping Plaza next to Leonardo's Pizza. And today we are going to talk about cutlings, propagation, multiplying your plants from the plants that you already have. And we are joined by Miss Terri at the Flower Shop, also a locally owned, woman-owned business here in Gainesville. And Miss Terri is... she just loves propagation. She's the one that really got me into it. She's always super excited. So I invited her to come and talk to us today because, you know, she's been doing this for a while. So I'd love to hear what she has to say. Without further ado, Terri, let's talk about propagation.
All right, well, let's talk about propagation. We are going to talk about how to cut a plant to start the water propagation. And so on different plants, there's different ways to cut it and start it, and we always want something that we have a noid on, which is going to be this little thing here. You can see it. And you want to make sure that you cut it, give it enough room to stick this in water. And when you stick this in water, the average time to get roots is probably about 3 to 4 weeks, just doing just water. Now, if you have the Rapid Start that Alex sells, I love this stuff. You put a couple drops in and you will have water roots relatively quickly. I want to say anywhere from 3 to 5 days. You can propagate African violet leaves, philodendrons. There's so much you can do. So this is what a water root looks like. It's actually very different than a root dirt, a dirt root, if that makes sense. So the water ones are usually a little bit thinner and they tend to make a little ball, more so than expanding like this in the dirt. This is a dirt root here, and this is what you call your water roots here.
And now, Terri, correct me if I'm wrong, you could take this plant, you can propagate it in water, and then if you wanted to, you could take it to dirt and you could plant it in the dirt. Is that correct?
That is correct. You can put this in dirt. The newer thing is to put it in the, as I know it, lava rocks. Alex will tell you the correct name today.
The name brand is Hydroton. That's what we carry here in this store. It's often referred to as Leca, Lava Rock. There's other names for them too, but it looks like this.
And if you grow orchids, gotta have lava rocks. Orchids love the lava. And if you're gonna go from water propagation and you want to go to the next level, then you would take it into hydroponics, or you would take it and put it in the lava rock.
Now, something to note with these is if you're using, if you're not using dirt, remember you have to put nutrients into the water. So we do have that here available. If it's just something like this, which is very green, you're not expecting it to flower, you can use just a grow nutrient. It's pretty affordable and you don't use a lot. So it'll last you a long time. But remember, if you don't have dirt, make sure you give your plants some sort of food in the form of liquid nutrients.
Correct. And once you get it from this point, you need to either decide that you're going to put it in the lava rock or you're going to put it in soil.
Or something we did here in the store is we normally start our seeds with peat moss plugs. And Miss Terri brought me an African violet cutling, and we started out in the Rapid Start. We just put a couple of drops in the water. We left it for a few weeks until we got little baby roots on the bottom. And this was just one leaf, right? Mm-hmm. And then from there, I took what's called Olivia's cloning gel. Very similar, something you might have heard of is Clonex. They're very comparable products. One is more synthetic, one's more natural, but they'll do the same thing. So I took, once the African violet leaf had a few little roots on it, I opened up my rooting gel, dipped it right in, and put it into my peat moss plug and put it under the grow light. And about 3 weeks later, it actually turned it into an entire plant just from that one leaf. And you can do that with tons of different plants, not just the violets.
Not just the violets or the philodendrons. There's Jews. You could do it with the wandering Jude. There's so much you could do.
And then similarly, this is another thing from Olivia's. So this gel is what you would actually put the cutlings in. You would dip it right into there before you take them and put them in whatever medium. That could be dirt, it could be peat moss, whatever. But this is Olivia's cloning solution. So you could actually take it even a step further, and you can soak your grow medium, if you're doing hydroponics, in this solution, rock wool, peat moss plugs, cocoa, whatever you're going to do, and it will prime it even more and make sure that it's definitely going to root. So using both of these together, 99% success. It will grow.
So I took a flower stem, a hydrangea, from the flower shop, just something that I was going to throw away in the trash, and I decided to stick it into this rapid root grower, and it did root. It did not grow roots. It started growing, but then that's where you need Alex's
rooting gel.
Yeah.
So it didn't ever establish roots in the water. It was growing new leaves, from the middle piece of the flower, which would normally be your waste.
Right.
It was growing new flowers and new leaves, but we actually from then had to remove it from the water and dip it in the gel and put it in a peat moss plug for it to do anything beyond that. So
correct.
Possible, and we actually have some literature here from Olivia's, and it talks about rooting houseplants and hydrangeas even right inside of here. It gives you step-by-step guides. We're also happy to talk with you about it too.
Very easy to do.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Did you have any just random facts?
I did want to show them that, when you are doing a cutting on your philodendron or any kind of house plant, you always need to use clean scissors, knife, anything you have around the house. You always want to pick up some alcohol and rub it, clean your knife, clean your scissors, and then you want to do your cutting. And you want to do that anytime you give a cutting off any one of your plants, just because you can transfer a disease from one plant to another plant by having dirty utensils. So you do want to make sure that when you do cut with scissors, you do clean it with some alcohol.
I've actually heard if you do it with dirty scissors that it could hinder the root growth too.
That is true as well, yes.
So you want to give your plants the best chance of surviving. So that was actually a really good one. I can't believe I forgot it.
No, it's no, but it is extremely important, and especially with orchids. I like to grow orchids, and so with the orchids, you want to do the same thing. It's anything that you want to cut off, whether it's a bloom, an old dead spike you have on an orchid. You want to always make sure that your knife or your utensils, whatever you're using, is a clean instrument.
Well, we're always happy to talk with you more about cutlings, propagation. Come and talk with us in the store. If you don't want to listen to us, we'll hook you up with Miss Terri. I'm sure she'd be happy to talk with you. But I wanted to thank Miss Terri for coming today, and the way that I wanted to thank her was by presenting her with her own full jar, a big bottle of Rapid Start.
I love this product. I started propagating with this product, and I have not been let down. It is so easy, and it's when you take a philodendron, and we did a little thing with it. We took just a philodendron cutting with just water, and then one with the Rapid Start. With the straight water, it takes up to 3 to 4 weeks to get roots, where when you put it in a root hormone, and this is kind of similar to that product, you're going to get water roots very, very quickly.
A couple of days versus weeks, which is really nice.
And it does say to change your water every 3 to 5 days. I recommend doing every 3, because 5, it gets a little funky, and you just don't want to bring flies or anything like that, fruit flies or gnats or anything like that around your existing plant.
And you can kind of see it, right? So like the water will kind of start to develop a film. You can see it's definitely time to change it. Don't ignore that.
That is very correct. If you should take your finger inside, kind of rub all the yuckies inside there. It's kind of yucky, but clean all that out.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. I am
Thank you,
so glad we
Alex.
had our first in-person talk. We hope to have more in the future.
Yes, come see me at the flower shop. I have a little grow
time setup.
And you can come and see and look, and I always recommend coming here for lights. I'm a big plant person, so Alex has gotten me to from the beginning lights to the big lights. So I am a total. I love the bulbs that you can put in the existing fixtures. I love all those, and if you have plants, you really should get something like that.
Winter's coming, guys. If you've got plants outside, you're going to think about bringing them in, and you need to make sure they're getting the light still. If they can't get it outside, you have to give it to them artificially.
That is very true. And we all have bathroom fixtures, and we all have a bathroom fixture, and we can just screw in and leave them there for a couple of months, and then we can put them back outside. But that's a must also in your growing cabinet.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again. At this point, we do not have a video planned for next week. If that changes, we'll definitely post something. We're going to try and continue on with this pattern of talking with other people in the industry that know more about these little nooks and crannies than we do, because at the end of the day, it's all about education. And more importantly, we're trying to support local businesses. We're a local business, so we're hoping to bring you more of those type of talks in the future. So
I did learn one new thing today, and I thought I would share for those people who grow with no chemicals or anything like that. And we put our plants outside, and we have those little grasshoppers that like to eat your plants. Mm-hmm. When you don't want to really put anything on there, flour. Just straight flour, and you don't. It's all natural. You don't have to use any pesticides. So those little pests like to get in our house plants, and we got to get rid of them. And I tried it. It does work. They use it a lot on sunflowers, actually.
Very cool. I was actually thinking about planting some sunflowers in the spring.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
All right. Well, go ahead and sign off now. Thanks for joining us. GrowTimeHydroponics.com, ordering at GrowTimeHydro.com. Call us. Hit us up on Facebook. We have a little chat plug-in. If you go to our website, we're happy to help any way that we can. Thank you so much.